All right. Flush that shit. Below the Rim podcast. What episode are we on right now? I don't even remember.
Episode 6.
Episode 7. Hey, you know we're
Episode 6 of this season.
That's
Season
incredible.
2, episode 6.
So
Wow.
what's that, 16 altogether?
That's proper.
Big numbers. Big
It's
numbers.
Not bad. We killing it.
Daniel Falloon back on the pod. Ryan Poyle back on the pod. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Thank you guys for having me. You know, it's always good to be here. Pleasure.
Ryan, we had a good little round of golf the other day, man. You kicked my ass. Whoa.
What'd you guys shoot?
I don't even know. I mean, ask him. He killed it.
200 par.
We didn't keep score first round, but had a birdie or two. Jordan had a couple good shots for being his first time out here. Van Cortland's one of the oldest public courses in America, so it was good to get out there and play that course.
135 years old.
Did you guys play a full 18?
We did.
Full 18.
How long
Jordan
did it
ate
actually take?
4 hot dogs. He was crushing those glizzies on the course, man.
The hot dogs were so good. It took 4.5 hours. It took us almost 5 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long round.
Yeah.
A long round.
And I took a break. I took a couple holes off too because I was like, this is a lot.
You take away the golf clubs, you're just walking.
Endurance.
Oh no, we're not walking out there. 18, that's too much.
No, it was good times, man.
That explains why Tiger Woods is broken down and beat up and almost in a wheelchair at this point, man. Like, it's a lot of wear and tear, a lot of torque.
Yeah, and his
going on
ex-wife's
out there.
throwing golf clubs at him and shit.
Yeah.
That was crazy when I heard that whole thing, like the car and the crashing. And I was like, wow, man, that's
And his
heavy.
ex-wife throwing a 9-iron at him.
Yeah.
I used to have a big crush on Elin, man. I used to think Elin was all that. Then I heard about that side of her, and I got a little bit worried. You know what I mean? You can't really keep the book by its cover, boys. You know?
Yeah, he got caught like sleeping with multiple hookers though. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it or wasn't it waitresses or it might have
Well, I
been?
mean, it wasn't the
hookers.
first time.
There's multiple hookers and porn stars apparently.
That's great. Yeah, great
Oh,
time.
sorry,
in Vegas.
only
Sounds
stars
like man,
or
it's
porn stars?
That's the story. Either way, I'm not knocking
Well,
Tiger. Good for Tiger.
But
Well, there's
what?
3 things that Americans love: is the come up, the come down, and the comeback. And Tiger Woods
Yeah.
is the epitome of that. So he's
Right.
back. He's back in the good graces. It just goes to show that no matter how much you screw up here in America, you can make it back up.
That's crazy. We want to talk about screw ups. John Morant. What is going on?
Good segue.
Yeah, no, it
Segue.
was perfect segue. What are your thoughts, Daniel? What are your thoughts on what's going on, man? This is crazy.
Man, the NBA is the privilege. It's not a right. To me, man, that shit's just corny.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? There's only a handful of jobs in the NBA, and millions and millions of kids, fighting for that. Like, you're living the life, bro. What was he guaranteed? 232 million.
Yeah, and in the
Yeah,
video, it was like his dude like saw that like Ja wasn't even. He kind of zoned out, and then his boy like saw that he had the gun out and like hit it. And then you know what I mean? And it was like, oh my God, what do you like?
Not
It's
smooth
the
enough,
perfect-
brother.
You know that phrase? You can take him out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of him.
Right.
Dude's not from the hood, bro.
Yeah, he's not even a hood guy, though.
No, but I mean,
He's
it's just
not.
that whole mentality. And like, I think he's one of those guys he's not going to actually understand until he loses his contract or until he loses an endorsement.
I feel like he's one of those guys that never touched money before. Now that he hasn't, the people that are around him,
Yeah.
he's trying to show out. You know what I'm saying? And like, go, bro, show it on the ball court, man.
It's and the thing is, if he's not playing ball and he has all that money, what is he gonna do? Avery, what are your thoughts?
I think that John, his gun game is lit. Just rocking guns all the time. Just peppy and foos,
I like it.
John's a thug now, okay?
I think Josh would be our first flush for the day.
There we go. We're gonna flush that whole situation with John Morant.
Do you guys hear me?
Jazz, you're on the pod again. Welcome in. Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm cooking chicken in my bedroom quietly because I'm not allowed to.
Chicken in a bedroom.
I air fryer.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
You went from living in your car to now living in a bedroom?
This is great.
No, I made sausages this morning in my bedroom for like the next 4 days, and then I'm making. Just don't ask.
This is great. This
My
is
parents
great.
are vegetarian. Okay.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you
Now I get it.
for blessing us, Jazz. We appreciate it. We're talking about John Morant.
You that you're making chicken.
We want to go to Drew real quick. Drew, what are your thoughts on John Morant, man?
Yeah, I'm looking at all the shots being fired on this pod right now, and I have to wonder if this jaw thing isn't contagious. But I mean, you know what, Jordan, man? I think back like about 5 or 6 years ago, there was a day I wandered into my gym to have a quick workout. And I don't know if it was just luck of the draw or whatever timing, but I saw my old high school track coach in the gym. Shout out to Mr. Masterson right now. And I said to him, Mr. Masterson, I'm lifting weights now. And like, you know, I'm way past my prime, way past my high school days of track. But I'm telling him like, I'm really seeing the benefits of adding weights to a workout regimen right now. But in high school, we pretty much stuck to the cardio on the track stuff. And when I said that to him, his response to me was, Drew, some people figure it out later in life. And those words kind of hit home to me because I was like, dude, when I was at that age, you should have just been like kind of leading us in the right direction. But I also realized that you can lead a horse to water, man. Sometimes it doesn't matter what someone says to you or when they say it to you in life. You really just have to learn it for yourself or get to a certain level of experience and just maturity, which I can definitely say, and we can all see Ja has not reached that point yet. And it's really disappointing, man, because I hate self-destruction.
Bro, it's not cool, man. And the people around him, if they're his friends, they'll tell him straight, bro. Like, you got an opportunity of a lifetime, man. Don't kick this can down the road, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck this up. So, you know.
Right. You look so cool with all those shoes in the back. You have more shoes than I have.
That's there's no way that's your whole shoe collection.
Nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just a side collection on the side. Ryan, I want to come to you real quick, man. What are your thoughts on John Morant, and then kind of segueing to just all the disappointing losses in the first round? We had Phoenix getting outed on the second round. We got Philadelphia, right on cue, losing to Boston in Game 7. What are your thoughts on John Morant, real quick?
John Morant, just it's tough to see him throwing away his career. I mean, you have to think now there's going to be a nice hefty suspension. He hasn't learned his lesson. As Daniel touched on earlier, it's disrespectful. So I hate to see that. You might think that it was Dylan Brooks that was maybe the bad apple. Maybe it's John Morant that's a bad one in that locker room. So definitely some things to be considered. But how about Heat culture? They were like 5 minutes away from being eliminated against the Bulls, and now they're in the Eastern Conference Final.
8 seed.
People against the play. So I'm really excited to see what's at the powerhouse in Boston. But as far as the West Coast goes, I don't think I can bet Bryce Denver. I think, how can you bet against Anthony Davis and LeBron? It looks good.
Turn to Rob. What's in his hand? Is that a water gun?
Yeah.
It's my John Morant look.
Is that your strip club gun?
And that. Back to the jaw thing, though. What do you guys actually think ends up with the suspension? Like, do you think?
I think he's going to.
Think it's a 25 game? What do you think the actual suspension ends up?
I think it might be like a 25 game suspension. I don't think
it's at the start of the season. So will it really matter? But yeah, about 25.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but do players have like strikes and warnings the way you do with your driver's license? Like you lose demerit points, you lose your license if you're drunk or caught like that?
Well, he already got a strike. He got caught doing this already.
It does go into the decision making. So like Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, will be like, okay, for example, a Draymond Green, if he's getting suspended, more than normal, then a player should get suspended. Then they'll take that into consideration when they are, figuring out what a just punishment is for that player. So yeah,
and your stocks definitely
have there players been fired from the NBA?
Yeah,
or the NHL?
For
Dylan Brooks.
For coke, there's been guys kicked out of the league for cocaine.
Yeah,
and weed. Actually, there's been guys kicked out of the league for weed.
Yeah, there's a long list of them. Yeah.
You guys see, that's what I was going to say. Could you guys see Ja actually, like maybe not from this, but could you see if another thing happened, him
If
being
it persists,
actually kicked out of the league?
No.
If it persists, definitely, man.
I mean, I think in the long run, maybe he might, kick himself out the league, but not right now. Not while he's dunking on people and still crushing and making all this money.
Man, you remember the Michael Ray Richardson story? That guy was an all-star when he got kicked out of the league.
Not John Moran all-star, though.
He does need to come to realize, like, man, it's really a privilege.
Michael Ray Richardson wasn't a bum. Like at his time, he was like a multi-time all-star. So like,
I feel like if you've made it to the NBA, you've earned every right to be there. So if you do something stupid and you have like 4 or 5 warnings, it has to be not okay. Like if you get a criminal record, then totally get like off the league. You're ruining the image for other generations to come. But you want to smoke cocaine, you want to do weed, go ahead. It's your body. You're not going to
people that have had rape charges and then get kicked out the league. So if you waving a gun around and get kicked out of the league, that's pretty insane.
Yeah,
just going off of what Jazz said, we're in a time now where common sense isn't common. So like we grew up with morals. Guns are bad, but now all of a sudden someone's holding a gun. It's like, oh my gosh, I need a gun too. So it's like we can't think for ourselves. So as we start going forward in like the future, I think literally people are going to look at athletes as like, oh, he says this or he does this, I have to do this. Like we can't think for ourselves anymore.
The only thing is with that is like, because I understand being from Canada that, guns are bad. That's more or less what the viewpoint is. But in America, it's not everybody, my father-in-law shoots guns in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but it's a sport. It's a sport. If
it's a constitution, it's a constitutional right in America.
He wasn't taking videos of him at a sport shooting event, though. He was taking videos of him in a club with a gun and him in a car with a gun.
Hold on. I think Canadians do it right. There's rules you have to follow. You got to put it in a case. It's got to be locked up. Only you can have the passcode.
Americans do it too. They do it too. You know what I mean? It's just there's a lot more illegal guns on the street in America.
Illegally owned, right?
Yeah.
Or not.
And you take it from your, like, it has to be in your house in a certain locker and they can show up at randomly to check. And if it's in your car, it has to be locked up and it's like a whole bunch of rules. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Americans, I was in Texas and every single person at the restaurant had their holster and their gun. And I'm like,
yeah, because they weren't fucking around.
That is Texas. Yeah, that's the
even Indians and brown people like.
Yeah, that's Texas.
What were you saying, Ryan?
That's Texas for you. You have to exclude Texas when you talk about guns. Them in Florida, they're just they're everywhere down there.
Yeah.
But as far as Ja goes, I don't think he should get. He's not going up against a Roger Goodell, where maybe 3 strikes with him and Roger Goodell's bold enough to kick him out of the league. But Adam Silver, I could see you throwing down a pretty hefty suspension.
All right, so I just want to keep it going with rapid fire because sorry, Jack.
Go for it.
All right, no, go for it. If you have a question, real quick.
It was about the women's college league that they had the game. I don't know if you already talked about this, but they had the game here in Toronto.
The WNBA.
The WNBA, and it was like sold out. The entire ACC was sold out. And I feel like it was a test run to see or consider if Toronto should have a league of their own.
100%.
A league or a team?
A team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a team makes more sense.
Yes, a women's team here in Toronto because the fan base was insane. And I think it was a test to see if we have the ability to do that here in Toronto.
Well, I think realistically, if that ends up happening, that they would have to have 2 added teams because I'm pretty sure there's 12 teams in the WNBA right now, so it'd be hard to have an odd number.
Yeah, let's throw up some footage. WNBA
when we
game.
do throw up my girl Candace Parker.
Game was in Toronto with the Minnesota Lynx and the Chicago Sky. Kalia Copper on the Chicago Sky led all scorers with 18 points and 9 rebounds. So it was a good game. So yeah, Jazz, I do think they're gonna hopefully bring a WNBA team. But keeping in the NBA real quick because that was preseason. Keeping in the NBA world, Phoenix Suns out. Monty Williams fired. Golden State, we think we're going to see them back together next year. Draymond coming back. Thoughts for the whole panel. Drew, you want to start with you? Okay, go ahead. Daniel, go ahead. We can start with you. Yep.
I was going to talk about Monty. and
Okay,
where
go
he
ahead.
potentially might end up.
Yeah.
He might end up as, you know, the potential Raptors coach. We'll see about that.
Whoa! Wow.
That'd be a
Right?
great
Like
hire. That'd be a fantastic hire.
That could be interesting to see what Masai and, you know, the rest of the Maple Leaf sports cast do in the off season. And then we'll see what other I'm a Raptors guy, so, you know, like we'll see what happens with the team, what big moves they make, if they keep Pascal because he missed out on the All NBA team, right? So that could be a potential loss in the pocket for him and a potential move scenario. And Fred VanVleet, who's the only one that's off the table is Scotty, correct? So
Scotty's the only one that gives Toronto hope. That's what Toronto's hoping
pretty
for.
Much. We're not getting any hope in the draft with 1%.
Yeah, they're basically banking on if Scotty turns into an all NBA type player, then they're like, we could build around this kid. If that doesn't end up happening, they're blowing that shit up.
Talking about blowing shit up, I think they need to just stop it in Philadelphia. I think that they are kind of like the Portland Trailblazers, respectfully. It's like right on cue. It's like I just know every year that they're going to lose at the exact same point. It's like Joel Embiid hits the wall. Yeah, he hits that wall. He just can't get past that. And I don't think he ever will, to be honest with you, because it's unless he teams up with like a, you know, another perennial all-star that's like wants to win.
James Harden was supposed to be be and
it just never happened.
It's just if
especially
you look
after
at
the MVP, man.
If you look at what he had in who'd they play in with Boston in the last series that they lost in 7. Harden went, I think it was like 12, 13, 45, and then 12, 13, and then finished with 9. Like, how do you only have one game over 20 points in a 7-game series when you're like a 7-time All NBA player, like a 3-time scoring champ in the NBA? Like, be better.
This year's MVP.
I think Harden. I didn't think Harden going to Houston thing was a thing, but Harden's probably going to Houston. Phoenix, people are talking about CP3 getting traded, and I don't know if the contract is even doable unless CP3 retires. There's really no way to get off that contract, and regardless, I'm happy for it because I need CP3 to be on a good team. It's his only chance winning championships. I'm surprised that KD and Book lost that shit, but fucking Jokic has been going on like Dirk Nowitzki 2011 type tear. So when he won his championship, so like I think that Jokic has been out of his mind. So if that didn't happen, Phoenix probably would have won that shit. Like I said, they would have won that shit. But regardless, if CP3 wasn't injured also, I think they would have had a better fucking shot. With the whole Philly thing.
No, you didn't say Denver was going to win. You said Phoenix was going to win.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I said
okay.
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
If CP3 didn't fucking get injured, it's bullshit.
Who do you think who are you predicting to be at the NBA All-Stars? Like, who do you think will be at the final?
We're like literally getting there before we're getting there.
We'll get there.
Real quick, Doc Rivers, 10 losses, 10 game 7 losses. The dude's been losing game 7s for a decade now. Worst record in NBA history.
Yeah, it was.
Talking about my boy CP3?
No, Doc Rivers, like losing in game 7.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's 6-10.
And they were using Ben Simmons as a scapegoat. Now, who they going to blame now, right? So
Doc Rivers, did they already fire Doc, or were they just talking about this?
It's going to be coming soon.
Yeah, fucking. So realistically, this might be the last time. Realistically, someone's probably hiring Doc again, but like, he might not get a job again. It's possible.
It's okay.
I'm with you.
Okay.
What were you saying?
Be at the point.
Speaking of records, Boston has 17 titles.
Yeah.
LA Lakers have 17 titles.
You're really on this thing.
Like my whole thing is like, if they end up in the finals, Boston and Lakers, it would be a crazy tiebreaker.
Yeah, historic. It would. Historic. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't remember back in like 08, 09, those playoffs? Fucking the Kobe Garnett year. Those years were fun, man.
So when ball was physical,
Boston, LA
coming through the lane, man.
Boston, LA would be cool, but I'm sick of Jason Tatum shit. I don't want to see him in the fucking finals.
Okay, so real quick, Eastern Conference Finals. Who do we got? We'll go through the panel. Daniel, we'll start with you. Miami and Boston. Who do you got?
It's gonna be a definite dogfight, but I'm going with Boston.
Wow.
Ryan Poyle, who do you got? Boston or Miami? Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm taking the Celtics as well, Daniel.
Whoa. Jamal, who do you got?
Celtics.
Jazz got Celtics.
I'm definitely going Celtics as well.
Avery, who do you got?
Miami's taking it, guys.
Oh, fuck. Wow. Drew Hinkson, who do you got, sir? Schultze.
You know what? I'm going to have to go with Boston just because I want them to lose in the final, so it hurts more.
Man, your shit's beeping because he knows you're wrong, okay?
Oh, so Eastern Conference, I got Boston. Western Conference, I got Los Angeles Lakers in Game 6 over the Denver Nuggets. Jamal.
Lakers.
Interesting. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I put on the yellow.
So it's Lakers. You got Lakers. Lakers. Jazz, you got Lakers.
Lakers.
Avery freeze every 5 seconds.
Yeah, okay. Realistically, if you're betting, Denver and Boston are the favorites for either of those fucking series, but I want Lakers and Miami.
Yeah, it's a better story.
It's a better story and a better series.
Yeah.
Fuck Boston and fuck Denver. No one wants to see Jokic's bum ass fucking
walk
up the court for the NBA Finals.
I'm gonna send it over to Daniel Falloon. Daniel Falloon, you predicted that Denver was gonna win it all. So who do you have winning the Western Conference Finals, sir?
Oh man.
You're switching up. You're switching up. Oh, this guy.
I don't hold on. I didn't say I'm switching up.
No pressure.
I'm just saying that both teams have to be ready for this series because man, they're both big teams, juggernauts.
You're taking a diplomatic approach. Trying to be a
good answer. Good answer.
Who are you picking?
I'm still sticking with Denver, bro.
Okay, there we go.
I'm still sticking with Denver.
We got everybody. We had everybody.
As much as the Lakers and Boston's a great storyline.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
sticking
So
with Denver this year.
we're gonna go to our quick commercial break. But Jazz, you got a question for us real quick before we go to our quick commercial break, right?
Do you prefer big dogs or small dogs? And I'm asking this because
I have a big dog. I have a gnarly. Gnarly's a German Shepherd Husky, so I like the big dogs.
Ooh, and a pug. I like a nice little fat chunky dog.
it sounds so wrong, guys.
True, don't you have a dog?
I have a Doberman.
You have a Doberman? Okay.
I got an English bulldog. He's about 11. Poncho is his name.
Poncho.
English
Okay.
bulldog, 11 months old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good dog.
Avery?
Doberman? Oh.
My family has like a shit ton of dogs. We've had like Dobermans, bulldogs, we got a Yorkie.
Are they still alive?
There's a pit bull. Yeah, most of them.
That's dope. Jamal?
I've always been a sucker for Dobermans or Rottweilers.
Yeah, Dobermans are sick. We had a Rottweiler at one point too.
Dobermans are the big tall ones, right?
Yeah, the skinny ones that kind of look like a deer.
I'll show you guys mine next week on the pod.
They need meat on their body, man. Nah. I used to have a white fluffy one. I don't know what it was called because it died after I left India. And then during the pandemic, we had
I left India and then we forgot the dog.
We're gonna go to our first commercial break, and when we get back,
no one was there to feed the dog.
When we get back from our commercial break, hold up. See, this is the crazy thing. I think we might have to extend.
Oh, Bull Mastiff. Look at
podcast
this thing. Is that a
extended.
bulldog?
Oh,
that's
wow.
a bulldog, right?
It's a beautiful dog.
Oh my god.
Look at this thing's face.
I like you put the mic to
Yo, guys, you know what's funny? I used to do Uber and I used to pick up my customer's dog and drop it off at the dog place and then pick it up.
Did it look like that thing?
It did, but it was so lazy that it wouldn't jump into the car. I had to like pick it up and push it into the car.
What'd you say that thing's name was, Drew?
It's a name. It's not a thing. It's a dog.
His name is Poncho.
Poncho.
All right, Poncho, send us the commercial.
Hey, Jamal, before we go to commercial break, real quick. Draft predictions, Avery, real quick. Sorry, real quick. You got 10 seconds. Go ahead. Draft predictions.
I'm hoping Houston gets it. So then Houston gets it, and then fucking Harden could go to Houston with Victor Wembanyama. He's probably gonna get injured in fucking preseason though, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. So we're good. We got that.
Houston.
Yeah.
All right. Commercial break.
If I showed you, you wouldn't.
You gotta show finished product on camera.
Do you see it?
There we go.
Yeah.
We want to see the chicken. The people want to see how good of a cook.
People want to see the chicken.
You see it?
The chicken is. Oh wow.
Oh, it smells so
I didn't
good.
know that.
That's incredible.
Weird, man.
This is great. All right. Well, thanks for hopping on the pod, Jazz. Until next time. We saw your trailer. It looks so good. What's your name? What's your name?
Jody
Jody Sweeten.
Yeah, it was so good. So good.
Yeah, it aired. I saw it premiere yesterday on TV.
Right on.
I got to see it. So it turned out really well.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. And did you know, fun fact, I actually was in a commercial for the NBA All-Star.
Wow.
I massaged the BMO ball.
Wow. Hey, there you go.
Massaging balls here and cooking sausages in my room. Bye, guys.
I see what you did there.
She's good. Thank you, Jazz Donda, ladies and gentlemen. The NHL update will be coming soon. But before we get to that, we want to go to the NFL real quick. The NFL schedules came out. Some of the highlights, key matchups that people are talking about right now. Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. First game for Aaron Rodgers in New York, the state, New York, battle between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. Bryce Young is going to be going up against Bijan Robinson, Atlanta Falcons, and the Carolina Panthers. Ryan, your Cleveland Browns are going to be up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Are you excited for the NFL schedule that just came out?
Fantastic opening schedule. I mean, NFL schedule release is just gets you going right after the draft. It's just the NFL just keeps dragging you along, and they did not deliver with this schedule. They did not disappoint with this schedule. My Browns open up against the Bengals. That's going to be a thriller of a game. Aaron Rodgers on 9/11. Are you kidding me? What a game that one's going to be. Then later in the season, I'm looking forward to the Eagles playing the San Francisco 49ers in a late season matchup that could determine maybe who's going to have home field advantage this season. So probably expected this. Browns starting off 1-0.
There we go. I like it.
Here first.
I like it. I'm excited to see what the Kansas City Chiefs do, if they're gonna, come back, if they're gonna defend their title. So yeah, it's gonna be a good, fun NFL season. Preseason starts in August, right? That's when the games start. Yeah, in August. I don't know. That's kind of it for the NFL update right now, unless anyone else has
question. Who's your teams for the new season?
Oh, beautiful question. I'm gonna go with Ravens because Lamar Jackson signed his deal, and I think, big trust. Hey, sorry, that's that. And I just think he wants to be in Baltimore. He feels loved, and what's a relationship if you don't go through a little hard time to make it stronger? So I'm excited to see the Baltimore Ravens, and that's my team this year. Drew, who do you got?
Honestly, man, it's almost like a sad day for me because this is the first year in maybe 20 years that I'm not rooting for Tom Brady.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, I pretty much came to the conclusion 3 or 4 years ago when the Patriots played Kansas City in that conference final that it was the passing of the torch, man. So I'm just going to ride with Mahomes till somebody proves he's better than Mahomes at this point.
Good choice. Ryan?
I am going to keep I'm going to pick an NFC team to win it this year, so I don't have to pick my Browns. Obviously, the AFC North with the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens is going to be such a competitive division. I'm going to go with the 49ers winning it all this year.
Whoa.
I think they're gonna, if they stay healthy, they're getting it done.
That. Nice.
Daniel, Avery, you guys have any predictions? Any favorite teams? Avery, I see Avery's yawning over there because he's not a football fan.
I'm not even yawning. I'm trying. My ear is like fucking clogged right now.
You don't even hit the bong anymore.
You know what it is? He's probably at 30 days.
Wow.
No, we're still close.
Daniel Falloon, who do you got in the football season coming out is
You know what, man? I haven't watched much football. I'm keeping it real with you guys. I promise you, I'm gonna start watching more.
Until then, I'm gonna flush it. Flush it.
I felt that.
No, my bad. Daniel, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
If I had to pick a team, I would say the Seattle, just because that was Marshawn Lynch's team, and Marshawn Lynch is by far the coolest dude who's ever been in the NFL. So,
he's had some badass.
I'm going with Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. I'm only here because I don't want to be fined. Okay.
Yep.
I'm only here because I don't.
Deion Sanders was pretty damn cool too, though, man. We might have to have a top 3 cool NFL motherfuckers.
Also true. Or Terry Tate.
Terry Tate off linebacker.
What's the most important position in football? I know everyone says the quarterback. Is that? Do you think it's the quarterback or do you think it's the head coach?
I think it's the You know what? Let me hear what the panel has to say first.
Well, I've seen the movie Blindside, and according to that movie, it's the guy who protects the quarterback on the left tackle.
According to that movie, it's Sandra Bullock. Okay, fuck out of here.
Yeah, true.
No, but it's true. If the blockers are feeling in a shitty mood, all they have to do is just dip a shoulder, and quarterback gets tackled.
If they're in a shitty mood, they just gotta go in the huddle and have Sandra Bullock come in there and
talking about
cradle their nuts.
Talking about Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock, by the way. Shout outs to Sandra Bullock. I'm an actor, and if I ever you need to get married to your girl, bro. You asked her to get married. Have you asked your girl to get married, Avery?
Man, we're live on a podcast. What are you doing?
Okay. So Avery, do we want to go into your segment, the Avery segment?
I want to flush what Jordan just did. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Flush that shit.
Flush.
Hey.
I'm gonna put up some edits, right?
Yeah.
Call it in the film world. I'd like to call it the upper room, but
we can't do that. We can't.
We're just going Avery's top 3 again.
Go
this one I got basically top three sitcoms of all time. It's not really a sitcom. My first and favorite pick of all time is The Chappelle Show. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but Chappelle Show is by far my favorite show of all time.
Bravo.
Not a single skit in The Chappelle Show that
and this is probably not a popular opinion, but I love the skits that I loved about the Chappelle, like when I watched the Chappelle Show, but it was never my thing. Like it's not that it wasn't funny. I thought it was hilarious. I just never, maybe it wasn't
give it another chance.
I have to. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I
think it depends on your sense of humor.
My sense of humor is based off the Chappelle
I watched
Show.
that one.
I like cartoon.
Okay,
so
number 2 is a way whiter show, but Seinfeld is my number 2 show.
Seinfeld was the shit. Come on, man. That's incredible. Yeah,
you got great characters all the way around with George, with Kramer. Elaine still, I would hit Elaine still. Elaine's money still.
Really?
Man, Elaine's still looking good. What was that movie you just seen when we talked about You People? Was she in?
Yeah.
Elaine's still looking good at You People.
Right? She's like a billionaire. Her net worth is like her dad.
And that, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
There's no going wrong with Elaine. My third is kind of like a toss, but like there's a million shows that I could think of. But basically, I gave it to Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, that's a good show.
So there's a lot of other shows that I could have said, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's Money. There's a lot of them that are sick, but I don't know what your guys' 3 are. That's why I figured I'd just kind of leave it up and see what.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good.
The same writers.
Yeah, Curb and Seinfeld both Larry David.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I count that as one.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll give Fresh Prince. Prince 3.
Literally just took all the fucking TV shows of all time. Because
that's what I'm saying. Those things like were my entire childhood were built off those shows.
Avery, you're what? 27, right? 28.
28.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Drew. Top 3.
I'll tell you what. My favorite sitcom of all time, it's still to this day, I get the most laughs out of it. I love the physical comedy, and it was Three's Company, man.
Wow. Three's Company was sick.
Was not
Jack
expecting
that character, Jack Tripper, just always makes me laugh.
Yeah, Three's Company was actually sick.
Mr. Roper, Mr. Furley, you know what I mean? You can't miss with either one, man.
That's where I got a lot of my games from.
Right?
Interesting.
I also love the show Martin.
Martin was sick too.
Hey, you got to make
Martin was good too.
After that, like laugh for laugh, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard for me to choose, but I'll go with In Living Color, man. I'll go with
That's a good one too. Honestly, that's a solid list too.
That's a good show.
Thank you, sir.
That's a good show.
A lot of TV, man. Trust me.
That's a good show. Jamal, Ryan, we're coming to you next. Jamal, so and then up on deck is Daniel. You're coming up next, so you got time to think about it. Jamal, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little new school. I'm gonna put at number 3. Black Mirror. I like
good show.
I like those twisted kind of thrillers where you're just like, what? So
comedy though. The topic is comedy.
Oh, and they have new episodes. They have new episodes
We're
coming
comedy
up.
strictly right now.
Okay, comedy. Oh.
Okay. So number 3, Cheers.
Good show.
I actually like Cheers.
Cheers
There's
is
a lot
money.
of
Cheers is money.
actors and actresses.
Classic.
Blossom from Cheers.
Classic.
Number 2. Oh man, number 2. Okay, what actually makes me laugh? Okay, can someone like come in and give their
Mr. Bean? You like Mr. Bean?
Mr. Bean.
Classic.
Thank you. This guy's going in my head.
Mr. Bean. Yeah, Mr. Bean. That was
all right.
Bean.
Mr. Bean's holiday.
I don't know if that's your number 2, but I said I know that's the show that you like.
No, I wouldn't have been able to think about a comedy on the spot. But number 1, comedy, I'll probably go with
You ever seen The Office, Jamal?
I was gonna say Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Wow.
Hey,
or the Community, like one of those, you know?
That's funny.
Interesting.
Community I really like too, actually.
Interesting.
Hilarious.
Yeah, Community's funny.
Interesting. Ryan Poyle, what do you got?
Yeah, so number 1 by far, first and foremost on top of my list. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I probably watch. It's one of those shows that I just throw on, and it's mindless to me now, and I can fall asleep to it. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That is by far my favorite. Good
show. Good show.
Coming out in June too. So
and they have a lot of seasons, like low key.
15 seasons, man.
No, I saw what?
Yeah, they've
That's
been going
crazy.
forever.
That's crazy.
And they started from just doing YouTube shit.
Yeah.
Same with us, guys.
Same with Letterkenny. Hey, amen to that, boss.
I sent a letter to NBA and NHL. I asked them for some sponsors. Who knows?
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Number 2, Ryan.
So number 2, I do have to give the nod to Curb Your Enthusiasm over Seinfeld. I know that might be a hot take on this one, but
no, honestly, I say that shit all the time. That Curb is basically the R-rated version of Seinfeld.
100%. It's a little more. The jokes are a little more up there.
Yeah, it's just the shit they wanted to say on Seinfeld they couldn't get away with. He says it on Curb.
Okay. Yeah. Number 1.
So that number 1, Always Sunny. Number 2, Curb, and then number 3. I'm gonna throw a little a different one out there. I like Eastbound and Down a lot.
Eastbound and Down. John C. Reilly.
Danny McBride fan.
Oh yeah,
Danny McBride. That's who did it. Yeah, Danny McBride.
Yeah,
that's a good list. That's a good list. I like it, Mr. Falou.
I'm gonna take you guys back now.
Hold on, Daniel. Do you remember our teacher back in kindergarten, Miranda?
Okay,
yeah.
I know this. I know where this is going.
All right, we won't tell that story.
Miranda was money.
Hey, Jordan.
Yo, all right. No, and I don't know how we knew this at 4 years old, but me and Daniel,
trouble with a capital T, man.
We used to get the. You get all right. Go ahead.
We were the type of kids to throw something off the table just to. Yeah, that's
the mirrors on the shoe type kid.
Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
So my number 3, I don't watch a lot of TV, but my number 3 would probably be Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son, going way back.
Sanford and Son. They don't make shows.
Quincy Jones produced the theme song to that one. If you didn't know, Quincy Jones.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
classic.
Dope.
I actually wrote that, but
I would say my second, Family Matters.
Oh wow, classic.
Family Matters. And,
I was an extra on that show once. I met.
Are you serious?
I met Urkel. Oh yeah,
that's sick.
Is that when you were going to school in Chicago?
The extra story?
Yeah, or was that in
that's
LA?
when I first went out to LA way back in the day. Yeah.
Wow.
When I filmed Ghetto Rhapsody, that was my first trip to LA.
Wow.
I signed up with Cenex Casting. And I started doing extra work, thinking I would get famous that way. And one of the first calls I got was for Family Matters.
Wow.
On the,
I believe it was the Universal lot. I can't remember. Anyways, one of them big lots.
And number 1, I'm going to have to give a nod to Fresh Prince, man.
Fresh Prince.
Will Smith, despite the slap, he's my guy.
That's why I say this all the time, that if you would think the amount of times Will Smith went through some sort of like self-confidence type of shit, he would just think and be like, yo, man, I'm the Fresh Prince. like I got nothing to worry about. I am the Fresh Prince.
The Wild Wild West.
I still say whenever I see that clip, man, he was laughing at the joke until he looked over at Jada, saw Jada got pissed, and then he felt like he had
he went like this.
He said, I got you, honey.
Instant pissed.
I got a flight tomorrow morning, so I love you guys enough to not get any sleep. So I just want to say, hey, by the way, Avery, I checked out the trailer for Smile. That was some of the scariest shit I've ever seen.
Watch that shit.
And I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna fully watch that. That was incredible.
It's terrible.
Fall, I haven't watched it yet, but I will. And Top Gun, I love that movie. Filmed it in San Diego. Shout out to San Diego. Drew knows about San Diego. Top 3 TV shows, comedies, sitcoms of all time. Wow. I'm going to take my time. I don't care. You can just wait. You can wait.
I'm amazed no one had the Chappelle Show.
I'm surprised no one said Family Guy or like American Dad.
I was going to say that.
I'm surprised no one said The Office, man. I've been binging that a little bit.
I'm going to put number 3, Home Improvement.
Wow.
Home Improvement.
Tim Allen love.
You see the Galaxy Quest. You see the Galaxy Quest. Tim Allen, Home Improvement. Number 2, Seinfeld. Number 2 is Seinfeld. That's a good. No soup for you. Yeah, I'm gonna do a scene from Seinfeld. Okay, so then he comes in and he's like, onion soup. And then number 1, the Soup Nazi. That's a very funny episode. And then number 1, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince.
Everyone loves that Fresh Prince.
I mean, it's a classic.
Yo, that's good morals, man.
Yeah.
Good values behind it,
Did y'all cry when he did that whole
funny.
My dad
That's
don't love me.
So funny that you're saying that because I was literally just gonna say that shit.
Drew, I want to come to you, man, for the NHL update.
Hey, I appreciate the segues starting off with the sitcoms because it's that time of year again where my Maple Leafs have unlaced the skates for the last time.
Can we talk about this for a second? Can we pause? Just interject?
Yeah.
It was almost like there was a 3-on-3 break. They were coming down. They just finished the power play, right? Yeah. You got me into fucking hockey now, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Nice. Papoose used to watch hockey and wrestling. So they're coming down on the power. They just finished the power play. Florida's coming down. Why is Toronto Maple Leafs doing a defensive change in that moment? The guy leaves. They're doing the change. Now it's 3-on-2. Yeah. And then right away, I'm like, they're going to score. It's almost like they got paid.
It, right?
Do you know why? Most hockey players, not that great of athletes. That's why. Why are you doing a change in a big-ass moment like that? Why? Because they be huffing and puffing and shit.
If you think you can't get all the way down the other end of the ice, maybe you're too gassed, You either look like an idiot and don't make it back, or you call for the line change and at least look like you had a good idea going there. But I feel you on that one, man. When Florida went back the other way on that 3-on-2, you kind of just knew the momentum was in their favor. But if you look at the replay closely, the Florida defender, Radko Gudas is his name. It was actually holding one of the Leaf players' sticks. But I don't want to sound like a dude crying over spilled milk here, man. We lost this series. We'd already lost the first 3 games. So a friend of mine basically asked me, Drew, what did you think? They were going to come back and win 4 in a row? And I kind of had to look at myself in the mirror and realize what a tall task that was going to be. So I'll tell you what, man, we're down to the final 4 in hockey right now, man. The Frozen 4. We got the Florida Panthers, who eliminated my beloved Maple Leafs. And then on the other side in the East, we got the Carolina Hurricanes. I kind of mentioned them over and over during the season because they did have a really good regular season. They're kind of a team with no superstars, but they do have who I consider the best coach in hockey, Rod Brindamore. He won a cup with Carolina and just stayed with the organization, and is still there now. So Carolina and Florida are going to battle it out. I'm going to pick Carolina in that series just because they're a way better team. We'll see if Florida can keep surprising me, though. And on the other side, you got the Dallas Stars, who tonight just eliminated the Seattle Kraken, the expansion Kraken. They took Dallas all the way to Game 7.
Game 7.
They went out tonight 2-1. So that was a really close series. And the winner of that one is going to have to face a team that knocked out Connor McDavid, the best player in the world, the Edmonton Oilers. They got beat by the Vegas Knights. I know Jordan loves Vegas. I know Ryan loves Vegas. So you guys are probably happy about that. The Vegas Knights another expansion team, are back in the Final Four, man. So between Dallas and Vegas, that's a real toss-up, bro. That one could go either way, you know what I mean? But if I was a betting man, I'd probably go with Dallas. They got a little bit more veteran savvy, if you want to say. So, yeah, that's the Final Four, man. Good luck to everybody. My team's out, so whatever. I'm wearing my Blue Jays shirt.
Whatever.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Mr. Hinkson, for the NHL update. Man, I'm telling you, Jamal was telling me, yo, I'm watching the game, and I'm like, yo, I'm getting into this hockey stuff because, Drew, the way you describe it, you're like Obama out there commentating on the game. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Hockey, man.
I want to get into the MMA update, the boxing update. Jamal, KSI, Joe Fournier, controversial decision. Jake Paul was trying to get in on the whole decision that the judges made and said that they should kind of, redecide the outcome of the fight. What are your thoughts on that, my guy?
Public service announcement.
For them to redecide, imagine how many people bet on that match. You know what I mean? So it's kind of difficult for them to do it. And I saw the fight, and I don't know how they didn't catch it at that moment. It was blatant. Wow. But I mean, what are you gonna do? And still sticking with the boxing. Let's just take a look here. We got Salt Poppy finally lost his first match. He actually fought someone who can actually box a little bit, Anthony Taylor. That went to decision. Didn't really care about that one too much. And then if you want to go into like the professional, we had Raleigh Romero. He won against Ishmael Barrasso. He's an older fighter. The man looks like he's 76 years old. And Raleigh is pretty decent, but I mean his fighting that day was atrocious, and the ref actually stopped the fight. I'm gonna show you a clip, and there was no reason to stop the fight. The fight could have kept going, and both fighters even said after the fight, I don't know why they stopped the fight. How do you win a fight and then tell the ref, tell the announcer, hey, they shouldn't have stopped the fight?
Wow.
So keeping it going, Devin Haney, he's going against Vasily Lomachenko for the lightweight belt. Nice. Now, I used to like Lomachenko. He actually held 3 belts in that division. And Devin Haney said it's going to be an actual bout. Like, he's not going to underestimate him. And I wouldn't either. They're both dangerous fighters, so expect a gruesome battle. I think one of them is going to get knocked out, and whoever wins is going to officially have all the belts in the lightweight division. So, I mean, as for MMA as well, okay, there you go. Yeah, his girlfriend is actually taking him to court for half of his money. They don't have any kids. They're not married. But she feels that they've dated long enough for her to be entitled to half of his winning.
Whoa. She gonna win that shit probably. That's not how it works. Man, she gonna win that shit probably.
What's that Drake song? You're right. You weren't shooting in the gym. Hey, perfect time.
She gonna win that shit and then be like Larsa Pippen.
Talking about money, real quick. Jamal, thank you for the MMA boxing update. Crypto, Daniel, you didn't get to talk about crypto updates, stock updates on this pod as well. So please, your expertise, sir.
Let me start by saying this. This is just
shout outs to XLM.
This is just my perspective, so it's not investment advice. Markets are on a serious downturn. Banks are collapsing. The way we look at money's changing. The way we send money's changing. Payments are going to change. With that being said, a lot of these cryptos that people are looking at, meme coins, the Dash, Shiba, dog coins, whatever you're looking at, they're probably going to go to shit in the next couple of years. So what I would consider looking at, if you are looking into any of these digital assets, would be XLM and XRP. Reason I say that is they solve the liquidity crisis going on in the markets right now, and a ton of locked up capital will be released using the XRP ledger. Company you can look into that XRP was gifted to is Ripple. Take a look at that company. If you guys do purchase or have any crypto, take them off the exchanges. If you didn't see lately, in the last 2 days, Binance is not going to be running in Canada anymore because of regulations. So Canada's stepping up. They're moving forward with regulations and stuff like that, which is huge. XRP is in a lawsuit that they are going to win. My honest opinion, I think the whole lawsuit is for clarity. So sit back, grab as much as you can, take it off off of the exchanges by a ledger. So that you can custody and own, because Bittrex, I believe it's another company that holds your crypto for you. They just lost a lawsuit. A lot of the clients within that ecosystem were staking their coins on the platform, and the platform lost the lawsuit. The judge granted the company all of their crypto, saying that because they staked the coins, they forfeited their right to hold the coins. So the key thing here is a line that they say, it's not your keys, not your crypto. Grab yourself a ledger, take it off the platforms. So
wow.
That's my little segment there. Any other questions?
Yeah.
We'll go through it again next week and we'll have a deeper conversation.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
I already took all my crypto off of all the platforms because interesting story. Pepe was one of these like meme coins, and it was one of those ones at 1,000x. So basically, if you put in $27, you would have given like 4 million.
Yeah,
so what the creator did was he didn't allow anybody to cash out.
If we all just buy stock in like OnlyFans and like Pornhub,
it's not public. It's not public.
We should do good. Fuck.
The thing is, a lot of these stocks don't go public. Like even
you have to be accredited.
And Louis Vuitton. For you to actually buy shares in Louis Vuitton, you have to invest a minimum of 10,000. So they're not.
You have to be an accredited investor.
Yeah, they're not any on like mediocre platforms. You got to actually. But I mean, that's not the story.
I'm hoping one day you guys can team up with me and bring the first Waffle House to Toronto, because I just know that will make a killing out here, man. The Waffle House is the way to go. You know what I mean?
Well, we have an extremely diverse community, man. So I think it'll do pretty good.
Hell yeah!
What's that, Ryan?
Here's in Waffle House.
That might be the idea of the entire podcast right there. Just open up a Waffle House in Toronto. Sure, we can do the podcast there too.
There you go. There you go,
man. We eat waffles and do the podcast.
Free waffles.
I think
for us.
I think tonight's been a great episode. I just want to give a quick MLB update. I'm not an expert by any means. I think the Jays lost tonight to the Yankees, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then Arizona, Oakland,
sweep of Atlanta.
Yeah, and then Arizona is up 4 against the Oakland A's. Kansas City Royals they got beat by the San Diego Padres. So yeah, just a quick little. Those are like the main games that are on tonight. So hey,
our Guardians off tonight.
You guys played well the other night too. So
yo, side note, do you guys know you could get a WNBA game courtside seat for like $300?
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
It's gonna go up.
It's courtside at a WNBA game.
Well,
would you go?
I would go for $3.
We were talking about this in the chat. It's a Lakers courtside game is like 24,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wow. To sit courtside though at like a good arena to see WNBA would be kind of cool, I guess.
I think just being courtside at any basketball game would be cool.
It wouldn't be as cool as being at an NBA game, but it would be kind of cool, Maybe I could get a picture with my girl Candace. Ooh!
She cleans up nice.
She cleans up real nice. Yep.
Shout out to Candace.
Final thought.
I guess we're going to the final thoughts.
I'll start us off, Jordan.
There we go.
Hey.
Little soccer update for the folks. Manchester City has the chance to win what's called a treble. That means they win their league, they win their domestic cup, and they win the European Championship. It's only been done 9 times in history. They are tied with Real Madrid, who won the Champions League last year, 1-1. The game is this Wednesday. That's sure to be a thriller. So if they win this, they're in the final. They pretty much locked up the league title. And then on June 3rd, they play their bitter rivals, Manchester United, for the FA Cup final. So in the next couple of weeks, there could be a name etched into history here. So I do want to give the folks out there a little footy update. And I think Manchester City could be that team to get it done. So check back with me in a couple weeks. But I'm going to go out there on a limb and say they're going to be one of the teams to etch the name into history.
Well, we definitely will check back with you, sir, in a couple weeks, because that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to go on my final thoughts, man, because I'm going to switch it up. I'm interested to see if LeBron is going to pull this out. I'm interested to see if he's gonna get one more for his legacy. I saw a dude walking with his girl today, and I had my place getting clean, so I had to stay outside of my house for like a good 5 hours. So I had a lot of time to just sit in my car and look and people watch. And I saw this dude, he was wearing a USC shirt, and I went up to him. I'm like, yo, y'all got Bronny James, and the excitement on his face was palpable. It was just, he was so happy. I think it's cool that whole scenario with LeBron and Bronny is like a love and basketball type of thing. Like, hey, like they just have like this cool dynamic where it's like dad is playing 10 minutes away. Shout out to all the dads out there.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say today. And
my baby's mama's baby's
baby's mama's.
Baby's mama's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamal, what you got? Final thoughts. Jamal, final thoughts.
What is dating coming to nowadays?
Always something with this guy.
I was on TikTok the other day, and
was it Tinder?
We have women mad at men for going overseas for love. We have men mad at women because they want too much. Well, like, can't we all just get along? Like, I remember the time where you would go out, you meet somebody, you talk. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Now all of a sudden, your resume has to be like bam, 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 bam before the first date. I digress. I want to honestly say, I have like 11 seconds left. To all the mothers out there, happy belated Mother's Day.
Oh, right. Happy belated Mother's Day.
Worldwide. Thanks.
Yeah.
Jordan,
Avery,
shout out to the dads.
Hey, shout outs to the dads, shout outs to the moms.
Shout out to the chicks.
It's the sound of a tool shed falling down the stairs. Avery, final thoughts, sir. Drew, Daniel, we're coming to you next.
What is wrong with relationships? No, I'm fucking with you. Okay, on a serious note, we didn't talk about New York or Golden State, so I'm just gonna break that shit down in 2 secs here quick. New York, they've been New York forever. They're never going to fucking change until they get a good free agent. Unlike Jalen Brunson and acting like that's going to be the change that's going to be the new hope. Get the fuck out of here. New York isn't changing until they get a solid free agent. And even then, they have fucking no hope. On Golden State, they're probably breaking them up at this point. Draymond has fucked so much shit up. Jordan Poole, I'll send you guys that picture of Jordan Poole just getting straight eye fucked by Steph. He's getting traded, okay? I could see Kerr maybe getting fired, but if they do that, I think it's ridiculous. But Curry's not getting traded. Klay Thompson's probably not getting traded. The rest of them are tradable, okay? The rest of them are bums. Klay Thompson, Curry, the Splash Brothers is the only thing you really care about. Other than that, move the fuck on, carry the fuck on, as Perkins would say. I'm done. That's my final thoughts. Fucking perfect timing.
Wonderful. Drew, final thoughts.
Yeah, my final thoughts tonight, man. Honestly, I was just going to kind of stick with the basketball theme. I watched the Philadelphia Sixers and Boston play their Game 7 yesterday. I got enticed to watch that matchup, as most people did. And once again, the entire world got let down by Mr. James Harden. I think we got shown again that there's a difference between people that play sports for the love of the game, and then there's a difference between those people and the guys that are playing it just for money. Toronto Maple Leafs are going through a similar problem right now where we have Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. Both of them are going to be up for raises soon. And when they get paid too much money, we're not going to be able to surround them with enough pieces to actually win.
Austin Matthews didn't score a game. He didn't score a goal in the playoffs, bro.
Exactly. And he's going to try to become the highest paid player in the league because he won the MVP last year. So sometimes you just got to really look at yourself in the mirror and decide, do you want to be a winner or do you want to be a rich person? And I prefer, when you represent my city, that you do it for the love of the game.
Facts. Daniel Falloon, bless us with 60 seconds, sir. Yes.
Final thoughts. I think the Western Conference Finals is going to be a damn dog fight. West or the East, but I'm looking at my man, the Joker, to come out swinging. I think he's going to be playing with the chip on his shoulder just because he didn't get that MVP title and Embiid is out, so he's already kind of winning that to me. I think Murray's going to have to step it up a little bit more because he's going to be put to the ultimate test in this series. That's pretty much it for me, man, but it's going to be interesting, but I still got Denver to win.
How do you see the matchups going in that one? Do you see like AD trying to cover Jokic? Do you see like maybe one of the Lakers centers coming off the bench and trying to cover Jokic and AD playing small? Who do you think is going to cover Jamal Murray? Like, what do you think is going to go on with the matchups?
That's a good question. Like, my thing with Jokic, he plays like a big man, so he's going to hit you. I don't think AD is built for that for 7 games.
No.
To be honest, and both teams are well sized.
Tristan Thompson gets some minutes.
That's what I was actually gonna say. I think Tristan is the X factor that they're gonna be bringing off the bench. He's a veteran with championship blood. You know, he's LeBron's guy, so LeBron knows what he's gonna get with him. He knows what to expect from LeBron. I think he'll be the X factor if he can come in and play his role very well, grab some rebounds, block some shots, change some shots, hit a couple guys, clean up, putbacks. It'll be interesting. I think the guard and the wing play is gonna be very crucial in making the difference, and the bench play. So
KCP, Murray. I want to see how Hillbilly Colby handles Jamal Murray. There's a lot of good matchups in there, man.
We gotta go. We can talk all night about it. It's gonna be exciting, everybody. Thank you again for hopping on the pod. Until next time, I am Jordan,
Avery,
Daniel,
Andrew Henson,
Ryan,
Jamal,
and I want to try something cool. So everybody put their left hand up like this at the same time, and then you're gonna just go like this, go like that, and we're gonna so your finger has to go out of the frame. 1, 2, 3, and flush it.
Shaba.
All episode, I gotta get it out.
And Living Color was a good one. That was a
Living Color is
man.
super good one. That shit. Yo, Jamal, who am I?
Pretty good.